We are in chapter 11 of the novel Engaged to be Married. Chapter 11, Travelogue, May 23rd. The tension between the two doesn't dissipate, and both passengers consider moving seats and possibly even different cars at the next station. Charles and Emily realize they will probably not like the tension they are feeling now as they travel onward. Like it or not, they will need to talk out their frustrations at some point. Emily is the first to break the long silence. So the thrill is gone, is that it? Charles' lips form a slight grin. Possibly the young girl isn't done with him after all. There never was a thrill to begin with, not with Lynette. Not with the idea of having a relationship or even getting married. For me, it was an expected thing to do. Just another step in life, another thing to check off my list. Although it wasn't added by me, but by the expectations from my family. I would have been happy to just stayed working away at my desk, only with myself to think about and the money that I need to make. But it finally hit me that it is my future too. I cannot face a long future that isn't to my choosing. I know every dreary scene that's going to occur in our life going forward. I've watched it played out like a boring rerun, and I've already seen it a million times in my head. Predictable, boring, typical. Emily asked, "Do you feel bad for admitting to any of these honest thoughts of yours?" No, actually I'm relieved. I feel thoroughly and utterly lighter, emotionally and mentally. It feels good to finally be able to say it out loud. To someone. To you, I guess, Em. It's freeing. I'm tired of playing the dutiful boyfriend and soon to be dutiful husband. Living the life that only she has dreamed of, attending every boring function she's invited to or decides to host. Emily is so curious. So, what did you say to her before skipping out on her? He starts to answer, but he can't seem to explain. Well, She cuts him off. No, tell me that you did not. Tell me that you did not leave the poor girl standing at the altar. Geesh, I'm not that. She cuts him off again. Better not have left her on her wedding day, Charlie. Do not tell me you did that. If you did, I'm so out of here. Her finger goes right up to his face, to his nose, and she pokes it hard. He grabs her hand. Ouch. No, I'm not that cruel. You heard my end of the conversation. I told her that I just needed to take time off before the wedding. I just told her I needed some time. So, you didn't even tell her you were leaving first? That phone call was the first indication that she had that something was wrong with you? And then you basically told her nothing at all? Basically, I guess that's the truth. Though I didn't have any real answers. Not yet. I need to figure it out if I can go through with this wedding. Emily sighs. It sounds to me like you figured out quite a lot of a few things already. Charles clarifies. I am just now admitting to myself the truth of what I'm feeling and thinking. But I want to be sure it's not just the cold feet syndrome like you suggested earlier. And even you think that I'm running away for nothing, no good reason. You've told me to go back to make this thing right and commit to her. The social calendar of hers and all. Well, I understand how you're feeling, but when did you start to feel all these feelings? Could you not even have hinted to her that something was coming, something like this? Maybe, possibly? For one, those feelings didn't start out as feelings, but just as thoughts and then questions. And for two, why would I want to start World War III with her screaming, crying, and all that comes along with the meltdown of a soon bride-to-be, if I wasn't even sure myself where those thoughts and questions were leading me? Charles studies the young woman who has chosen to remain seated next to him. He wonders why it is that he is strangely attracted to her. She sports a frumpy look, a kind of get roused out of sleep look, and she seems to be quite okay with that look and even quite confident about it. He realizes he's just nailed why he feels good around her. Her confidence is what he is so attracted to. Self-confidence for himself is what he's still in search of, and hers might just rub off of him to his thinking. Too, with needing answers to his many questions, he finds it oddly amusing that she stands out like a beacon of hope. If Charles can only find a way to continue to tap into the resource that is hidden inside of Emily. Well, isn't it your turn to be honest? Did you inform the ones or anyone that you left that you were making plans to leave? Charles sits back, folds his arms over his chest, smiling like he's made a strategic move with his pawn on a chessboard. Wait a minute. What's next? Emily wants to know more. Not going to leave me in suspense, are you, Charlie? I guess I'll have to disappoint you there, Em, because I don't know what's next. I'm on this train right now, and this is all I know for sure. Nothing sorted out up here in my tiny pea brain. Not yet. Still too early to tell. Well, you can't stay away from your job indefinitely, not without losing it. So what's it going to be, Charlie? I've taken 3 full weeks off, and actually I'm sort of owning that business, and so yeah, I'd have to fire myself 3 weeks from now. My apartment, career, my cat, my car, my family, all of that is in limbo back there. He points a thumb behind his shoulder, like it's better that it all stays back there. I could care less right now, although I do feel bad that I've dropped it all on my new secretary, only the very day I was leaving. And your bride-to-be, she's back there too, you know. You didn't even mention her. Yeah, her too. Don't know why I did, and I really don't know what I'm going to tell her, but he sighs. Sure, I know that this is what I should do, what's expected of me. I just don't want to do it. Well, that's one honest statement. Emily smiles. Yeah, life is a whole lot of doing a particular thing that you don't particularly want to do. Mark Twain quote. Not an exact quote, but you get my meaning. Yeah. Charles sits with his head in his hands. A couple of days into this journey, and I find that I have been fooling myself, thinking that I could have a nice, relaxing 3-week vacation, enjoying myself, having some adventure, experiencing life, what I've never done. But reality is that my thoughts and questions come right along with me and are waiting until I get some answers. I won't be able to really enjoy any freedom that I thought this trek on this train might give me. I know that I must go back there. I gotta face her. At some point, I gotta have some answers. You've pointed out that to me more than once already. Emily retaliates. Now, don't you go trying to put this on me before buying a ticket. You already knew that you were going to go back there and face the life that you've made yours to be. It sounds like you've known from the beginning that you wouldn't be standing at the end of that aisle, but surely you knew you'd have to go back, you'd have to face the music and do the right thing by explaining all this to her. Heck, Charlie, you're the one who planned just 3 weeks, and you probably brought a round-trip ticket, right? So there. Charlie can hardly bring himself to admit it. Well, you got me there. Of course. So your fiancée, I'm curious. What's she like? What's Charles Bingenton's type? What? He didn't follow. I've already told you about her. You told me about her social calendar and her hopes and dreams to be married, but I'm curious as to more. What does she look like? She's what you would call lovely. She should have been born in another era, though. She and her mother dress like they're in the 1950s. Everything is crisply ironed and just perfect. She's always dressed for the day, every day. Funny thing, 6 years ago, I doubt I would have ever looked your way, Em. Nothing personal. It's just I had certain goals to reach too, and I guess at the time she seemed to fit those. He sighs. I guess maybe she still does. Are you sure of that? Emily smirks. Sounds like those goals have been changing, Charlie. Yeah, right again. Sounds like it. Charlie points his finger at her. It seems to me that the challenges, the goals that you had once placed on yourself for your future have now been met. You've achieved a sense of success in business. So you say. So, check that off the list. And once you are married, that will be checked off the list too. But goals change. Sounds to me it's time for that. So, what are you saying? Really? She sighs. Of course you are looking for new goals to reach, because you're just that kind of guy, Charlie. True. Emily continues her reasoning. Oh man, you needed this train ticket in a bad way because you have already arrived at all those other destinations for your life. He's flabbergasted at her analysis of him, and Charles cannot find anything with which to disagree. You hopped on this train in search of the brand new destination, a brand new goal. And I don't mean a certain city. You knew when the other game was over. Now you don't even want to play the other game anymore. You're looking for new challenges for you, Charlie. So, being the mathematician that you are, you're looking for new problems to be solved. Right. He feels absolutely enlightened, but instead of giving her a satisfying answer, Charles sees this as a way to get Emily to finally open up. So what's your new destination, Em? Mine? Simple. I'm surprised that you haven't picked up on it. My destination's been set for me. I simply am on a mission to overturn it for as long as I can, as long as it takes. Sure, I would like to plan and make new goals, but you see, Charlie, I have this weird friend called Mr. Inevitable. He's up there waiting for me at the end of the line. Only a few more miles of track until I meet up with him the way I've got it figured. She sighs and looks out the window. Talk about a poetic dissertation. And deep. But I don't know what the heck you mean by all that, Em. Please share with me what's going on with you. Charles spies a teardrop roll down her cheek. He wonders if he should even pursue it any further. Emily doesn't give him a chance. You were making a breakthrough back there, and you changed the subject because I have your number, Charlie. No, I'm truly curious about you, Em, he interjects. I am concerned about you, actually. Right. Emily has more to say about the unfortunate circumstances he finds himself in. Enough about me. We must focus on you, because you are in desperate need of help. Need to find you some new goals, Charlie. A new purpose for moving forward in your life. Well, I can agree to that. Releasing steam that has been building up inside that pea brain is a good thing, old man. Go ahead, be bold. Oh yeah, I say, let's shake things up. Dream new dreams. Dreams are what will see you through, even if you are only pretending for 3 weeks. Trust me, boy, do I know about that. Her voice again softens. New goals, here we come. Charles thrusts one fist into the air. Her voice trails off. I'm glad someone will get to achieve new goals. Charles suspects something is seriously wrong with this young woman. She continues to leave all the loose ends in their conversation, as odd as it is. He knows there is a very sad reason for the mystery that surrounds her now. He leans her way and stares deeply into her misty eyes. She turns further away from him. He knows enough to leave her alone for a while. Charles gets up and walks up and down the long aisle, waving his arms. He's getting restless being cooped up on that train. Charles goes back to sit down. Another whiff of his intoxicating cologne causes Emily to take in a deep breath. He's unaware of Emily's admiring response of his nearness to her. Charles sincerely compliments her for the first time since they've met. "You are amazing, you know that? You've done for me what, no one else could, not even a psychologist, and only 1,000 miles. And yet you've managed to label me and all my problems. For weeks my life has been one big question mark, asking stuff like, why am I like this? Why do I feel the need to change everything in my life? Do I have the right to be so selfish? Yeah, that. I was daring to ask those things in my mind, but you've made me voice them. And you've helped me possibly come up with some resolutions." She ignored his comment. "You are quite welcome, Charlie." Emily collects her thoughts again. "So, new goals it is. Much needed, and what fun to imagine. What new goals, Charlie? Major ones like a new career? Minor ones like a new hobby? Do you even have a hobby? Brand new girlfriend, maybe? Maybe all those things need to be changed?" And now you have crammed still more questions into my pea brain. He's nearly exasperated by her pointed questions. "I've just learned what's wrong with me. Isn't that enough for one day?" Charles doesn't want to do the hard work of arriving at any other answers, not yet. "But Charlie," he leans her way and nearly screams out, "I don't know what's next." Emily jerks backwards at his forceful tone. "Well, okay then. But seriously, a few immediate, however brief and temporary answers are needed at this moment and must be." Charlie puts one finger up to her lips. "Emily, I do not know. I need a minute to process everything I've already discovered about myself, and I have the remainder of my time off to think on those new questions you've posed." "But Charlie..." "Listen, Em. Think of this as a vacation for me. I've never taken one since I left home. I've always kept my nose pressed down to the grindstone. So please let me have this time, will you?" He again sighs. "Okay, gotcha." She mumbles, but his finger is still resting on her lips. "Some options are in order at the very least." "Okay then, what options?" Charles sighs, drops his hand, and shakes his head at her. Emily pulls out more gum from the stolen suitcase and offers him a piece. Charles shakes his head, this time in the negative, but he realizes that he is getting hungry. Insistent, Emily again holds it out for him. "Don't be so shocked. I'm a gum thief, not a murderer, Charlie. I say that missing a couple pieces of gum isn't going to matter to that guy." He shrugs and takes it, but holds it up. "I have sold my soul for what? One piece of gum? Don't be silly. Wait to sell your soul for something that is actually worth it." He's shocked at her ominous remark. "Clever little ways you have, toying with my convictions. Just what are you turning me into?" "Chewing gum helps me concentrate. How about you?" Emily appears unconcerned that she's stolen the luggage, socks, crackers, and now gum from her victim. "Gum is therapy?" "Yeah, I do my best thinking when I'm chewing gum. It takes my mind off the other things. Then new stuff comes to me, like a kid who has nothing else to do but just hang out, thinking and imagining." Charles shudders. "It seems really strange that you're so happy concerning your crime." Emily looks disapprovingly again at Charles. "Chill, why don't you? Happiness is the only one way to go. It's only one smile away, you know. You might want to try it sometime." They sit quietly chewing their gum. Charles has chewed gum many times before, but decides to see if it will have a different effect on him, since he's now contemplating what Emily had just stated. Blowing a few large bubbles, she goes all cross-eyed, looking down at each bubble in turn, admiring its size. Emily proudly points at her accomplishments, loudly popping bubbles with her teeth. People around her get more than a little irritated, flashing disapproving glances her way as she continues. Takes you back to when you were a kid, am I right, Charlie? Can you even remember being a kid, old man? Buying gum with your only dollar? Wait, probably only cost a quarter or so in your day, right? Yep, I just always picked double mint myself. Yeah, good times. She sounds like a commercial to Charles, so he laughs. He always chose gum over candy bars when he was a kid. It was an economical issue that made sense to him because gum has 5 pieces, so 5 times the value as a single candy bar. And it lasts longer then. He admires Emily for her carefree attitude. Under his breath, he muses. Lynette would insist on having both the candy bar and the gum. Did you say something? Emily chews hard, reshaping the gum for more bubble blowing. Charles sports a sad face and stares at her. Another bubble pops. What? Lost its flavor already? He has had this strange idea coming to him since first laying eyes on her. And he had realized early on that he doesn't want to do this trip alone anymore. Charles can't seem to shake the thought. Where are you headed, Em, on this trip? This is kind of crazy, but okay, I'm going to ask you straight out. Would you be able to spend the next 3 weeks and travel just anywhere? I mean, with me? Charles can hardly believe he's actually voiced it out loud. Emily doesn't miss a beat. From out of nowhere, with this thick southern accent, she swoons. My, oh my, why, Charlie B., to think that you are proposing such a thing. And with little old me, catch me, sir, I feel so faint. Emily falls over in Charles' laps with the back of her tiny head to her hand to her forehead. Both laugh at her bold and lousy overacting. She lingers there, though. He feels uncomfortable and quickly helps her to sit up. Their faces meet no more than an inch from one another. Remembering he is still engaged to be married to another woman, Charles dutifully pulls away. He had to cough nervously then. Dear Miss, taking advantage of the emotional condition you're presently experiencing would be untoward. Certainly kind of you to be so considerate, I think. Seriously, if you do have some free time and do not like the idea of traveling alone either, as it turns out, I'm quickly discovering that I do not care for tripping by myself for 3 whole weeks. Well, you see, Suddenly, Emily is at a loss for words. She makes sporadic motions with her 2 hands, even her arms, as if she's trying to hand over an answer on a silver platter, but can't form the words to put on it. Charlie lets her off easy. Oh, are you saying no? Okay, I got it. Odd request, I know. I mean, we don't really know each other. And I didn't mean anything by it. No, I don't think you understand, Charlie. But if you would consider doing this, just know this will be my treat, on my dime, everything. I'll cover all expenses, and I will treat you like a real lady should be treated. You don't say. Reiterating, he echoes, Em, don't give it a second thought about the cost. It is my suggestion, so entirely on me. What do you say, Em? She stews over his offer, pulls on her coat, putting it on over her shoulders, but then takes it right back off. She twirls her hair, looks down into the suitcase, grabs and chews another piece of gum, thinking. Emily makes the funniest faces as she does so. Charles chuckles and shakes his head, knowing full well what she is up to. Emily delights in watching him squirm as he awaits an answer from her. He's worried she will decide to turn him down, or possibly won't fully commit to 3 weeks for reasons she won't even divulge in. He can only wait, but he does whisper, leaving me on pins and needles here. Emily speaks. 2 questions. Please, no more questions. I've had enough questions that need answers still. Charles pleads with her. Simple answers are needed before I can accept your offer, okay? Oh, then okay, I guess. Charles throws up his hands in defeat. Question number 1. Am I only tagging along just to help you forget your troubles? Question number 2. Where are we going? And can I give suggestions for our activities? Oops, that's 3. See what you've done to me? I can't even count up to 3 right now. No problem, I'm the accountant. Got that covered for you too. He gives Emily a big hug, assuming she has already accepted his offer in her mind. Charles smells expensive perfume and likes it, but wonders about it just the same. He pulls away. Noticing instantly that he's definitely uncomfortable about something, Emily presumes he has immediately regretted asking her to tag along. Okay, now what, Charlie? He doesn't hold back. So you haven't robbed a fancy department store recently, have you? I can't have you swiping things, at least not for these next 3 weeks with you at my side. I will buy you whatever you need or want, Em. Just let me know. I will pay for it. Please do not take things that don't belong to you, not while you are with me. I cannot afford to have jail time on my record, not with me being the respectable CPA that I am. You know what I mean? What in the world are you referring to? Oh, it's my perfume, isn't it? No, really, it is mine. No more lies. It's all I brought with me. I didn't want to run people off, even if I can't shower or change into clean clothes. She makes an odd face, reaches down into the suitcase she's stolen, and holds up a rather strange-looking item of clothing. And look at this. This just won't do. Both laugh at the ridiculous choice of clothing that was packed inside that suitcase by the man. Emily grabs her half-used bottle of perfume from her coat pocket, holds it up for him to see, and spritzes once around her neck. She stuffs the bottle back into her pocket. Charles smiles and takes both her hands to pull her in close to him. He planned on saying he's sorry for accusing her of being a thief, but then he feels odd after pulling her in close. And since he had actually watched her steal a suitcase, why should he need to apologize, he thinks. Okay, what is it now, Charlie? Nothing. First order of business. Gonna buy you some outfits for this 3-week jaunt, okay? Not gonna hear any complaints coming from me. Emily stands up again and turns around, acting seductively, but overly so. And one advantage I have, I would make the perfect model, wouldn't you agree? Yeah, sure you would, Em. Okay then, now, and as soon as we get off this train, we are going shopping. She doesn't say another word. She flops back down with a big contented smile on her face. Charles smiles, nods, knowing that she seems happy with their new plans, even though it is to be a very short-term excursion together. The train's humming rhythm and muffled noises lulls both to sleep, and they doze for several miles. That's the end of chapter 11 of Engaged to be Married.